What's going on, guys? Today we're making pretzels and nothing else but good homemade pretzels. So what we're gonna have to start off is we got this bowl right here. It's got a good combination of, milk, sugar, and it's got some salt, and we're about to add in our active dry yeast. Oh. Now it says we need at least 2 teaspoons. Get out your measure things. Boom. 1, 2. Alright. After that, you want to let it sit with this warm milk and let it sit for a couple minutes, and it'll get all bubbly, get activated, and it'll turn good. After a while, your yeast should look somewhat like this. Look pretty good. I got some melted butter. You're gonna need at least 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So I'm gonna go ahead and just whoop. Let that sit a little bit more while that yeast is getting active. So after a while, your yeast combination stuff is gonna look somewhat kind of settled in, like warm milk. Give that a little stir, make sure everything in it's stirred up. You want it to be all mixed up well before we add flour to it. And then we're gonna take our 2 1/4 of all-purpose flour. We're gonna go ahead and sprinkle it in a little bit. We don't want to sprinkle it in all the way. We want it to, mix in well and thoroughly. We don't want giant clumps. So just kind of add a little bit. You want to get this kind of like batter kind of consistency where it's almost like pancake batter, but a little bit thicker. Just keep on adding it slowly though. You don't want to do it all at once. And if you haven't already, you should probably wash your hands, because you're going to get your hands in this. You're going to have to, make pretzels with your hands. So you do this a little more. You keep doing that. And then after a while, it should thicken up. A little bit more and more. Just keep on stirring it. It's definitely going to. And now, I'm supposed to explain, I don't want to, but yeast. Now, the active ingredient of yeast is a fermentation. It's a single-cell fungus. And what it does, it takes the sugar that you place in this batter, and it helps the combination. And what it does, it extracts CO2 and oxygen and alcohol. And what that does, it helps the dough raise. And that's why dough is not flat, batter stuff. That's why it's, high loaves of bread. So this is, nothing new to the industry or anything, but yeast can help a lot of homemade bakeries and buy large products of companies that make a lot of snacks. And yeast is a good active thing for farmers to make, because it's in a lot of our food, it's in a lot of our bakery items, and it's in almost everything. So after you get almost all the flour in, it should start looking get a little crazy now. Don't want to make no mess, because you got cleaned up later. So it's looking somewhat like this. It's gonna look somewhat, a little doughy, a little good, but it's all right, because a lot of mixing, a lot of love. We'll get to it. You just gotta keep on giving it some attention. Keep doing this. Make sure you get the bowls around it too. You don't want to leave no flour untouched, right? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now, the key is not to add too much flour, because this what makes your dough stiff. If you have too much flour, then you're gonna have hard pretzels. You want it just the right amount so it can be soft, and it has a soft inside with a crunchy outside. You don't want it too much flour, then it's gonna just be all hard all around, because it's got no soft inside. Okay, after a while, take that. I'm gonna use one hand at a time, because I turn off my phone. You're gonna start kind of mixing around the bowl, kind of use your fingers. Oh, look at that, got both my hands up in this. Get around this wall here. And then after a couple minutes of kneading all this and everything, it's gonna look like one giant dough. So after this, I'll bring you back. Okay, so after a while, the problem is if your dough sticks to a lot or it's sticking to your hands when you need it on the table, you're gonna have to add some more flour. So I had to add a significant amount of flour to get it so it's not so clingy. You're gonna wanna take some flour. Hold on, let me get this just right. Don't fall over now. I have some flour on the table. You can't really see. You're gonna take your dough, and the thing is, when you're holding this dough, is to be quick with it. And you're gonna take it and you're gonna just play with it almost like goo. So it's called kneading. And what you do is you take it, you fold it on in itself, and you pull it back out. So you can get all the part of the dough mixed in. It's all, mixed in together. You want it to get it kneaded, get it all, mixed in. Make sure it's finally done so it can rise. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a pan. You're gonna oil it pretty well so it doesn't stick over it while it's sitting there, and you're gonna let it sit with a damp towel over it for an hour. So when I pause this, I'll bring it back and I'll show you what it looks like. But after a while, your dough should be like playable, shouldn't stick to you. Roll it out, get it all mixed in well, and then you'll put it in a mixed bowl with oil. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So after a while, once this gets all kneaded like I showed you, you're going to want to put it in a well-greased little pan so it doesn't stick to the side. And then you're going to want to take a damp towel. And over the course of an hour, the fermentation from the yeast will do its thing and it will make the dough rise. So go ahead and just get a damp towel. It keeps, I don't know why, I think it keeps it from hardening and everything, keeps the dough soft, and it makes it easier for the yeast to do its job when it's in a damp environment. It helps the cells working around. So keep this in here. You'll place this in the fridge for about an hour, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so it's been a while. After we left off, the dough is rising, so your dough should have expanded and almost twice its size. So now you got this giant lump of dough. I'll get a different camera angle going on. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. So now we have this dough, and we need to. Let's see. Oh yeah, we need to cut this into 6 equal portions. So what we're gonna do is get this actually kneaded a little bit more. It looks a little mixed up. The brown specks in it is only because I had to put some whole wheat flour in it because I didn't have enough regular flour, so it's decorated with some different kind of flour. Once you get this all kneaded and stuff, you'll want to cut it into 6 equal portions, and you also want to make it into pretzels. So after we get this all done, let's see what I can cut with. Okay, you scissors now. Okay. Alrighty, let's just cut it with this big old knife right here. So you don't want to you don't want to put flour on your countertop either, because you want the texture. Your dough should have not be like so clingy if you made it right, but it should not need any flour on the container, or not the container, the countertop. Let's get this all cut up into somewhat some pieces. There's a little bit extra in my recipe because I'm making more, so I'm gonna have to cut it into at least 8 pieces. Alrighty, so take all these other pieces and you can put them in your oil canister. They're not going to really stick to each other because they're separated, but get them out of the way. Now you're going to take this dough. Make sure you have clean hands too. Don't be dumb and not have clean hands. You're going to use your fingertips, only your fingertips, and you're just going to kind of roll her out. You're going to want to make it at least 30 inches. Now it doesn't have to be exactly 30 inches, but you want it somewhat close to, 30 inches. You want it to be all equal too. You don't want it to be lumpy. You don't want it to, look like some just whipped it up. You want it to be all nice and even and rolled up like we professional auntie pretzel rollers. Because we try to make, you know, good homemade pretzels. So homemade pretzel can't be good if it's, you know, not even equal. Alrighty. It might take a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So you're gonna take it, you're gonna take how you make a pretzels. You take both these ends, you take them facing you, you're gonna loop them, then loop them again, and you bring it back, and then boom. This one's a little tiny, but it's a little pretzel. And look at that. And after you do this about, I don't know, as many pieces as you got, it should look like a whole, you know, sheet in a row. After I get these all rolled up, I'll come back. I forgot to mention this one important step. The step of adding the pretzels. So once you have, I already have a couple ready. So once you have them kind of ready, you know, little pretzels, you're gonna take some almost hot boiling water, and this is before you bake it. This is to give it flavor, its fluff and whatever. You wanna take 1.5 tablespoons of baking soda. So I got some great value, non-discounted, great value baking soda. And then you're gonna take 1.5 tablespoons. Make sure it's tablespoon, don't use teaspoons, you know. That could be a big difference when you are cooking. Make sure you don't mess up by putting tablespoons and teaspoons, because next thing you know, you get a mouthful of something disgusting, bro. And level her out. Now, you might be thinking, oh, it's baking soda. Well, calm down. Ain't gonna kill you, ain't gonna, you know, whatever. It's just for flavor. This is what you want. This is what Auntie Annie's doing up in the kitchen. Cause you know, Auntie Annie's not making money for nothing. She's using some special technique. Now take whatever you got. Here's a fork. Just stir it up. You want to stir it up until you kind of see how it's a little fizzy now. You want to stir it up until it's all clear. So, you know, mix it all in. If you're using science or whatever, you'll learn that. You'll know that your mixture is fully stirred up when it's clear. Just keep on, you know, stirring it and stirring it. And you can see it's already starting to get a little more clear, a little bit more clear. You just gotta, you know, keep on stirring, keep on stirring. Now at this time, as you're watching this video, you can be doing dishes, because believe it or not, I already got my dishes done. The only thing I got is this plate. So while you're doing all this and while your oven's preheating and everything, it'd always be a great idea to do dishes, because who wants to have these great pretzels, you know, waiting, and then now you're paranoid about doing the dirty dishes you just had to make the dough with. So whenever you have time, you know, down, instead of stirring water, then do dishes. And always be careful, because you gotta make sure you don't burn yourself. Make sure you have gloves ready whenever you put this in the oven. I think it's about done. Probably as clear as it's gonna get. So it'll look kind of salty like that. It's alright. It's whatever, you know, flavor. So you're gonna take these pretzels, you're just gonna give it a little, you know, quick dip in the salt. Ain't gonna kill it, you're gonna be fine. Do this to all of them. Yeah, I cannot make pretzels to save my life. Now don't let it sit there in the water, because it is hot, and if you let it sit there, then it's gonna just literally start falling apart. Alrighty, I only have 3 done, but I'll show you the whole thing when it's all done, and I'll get it all looking nice, and I'll be back. Alrighty folks, by the time at this video, we have now gotten our dough made. We learned about how the dough was made. We kneaded it and we played with it and we did so much with it. And after forever, we get these. Now, I know I cannot make pretzels to freaking sell if I even worked on Auntie Annie's, but you know what? It's all right because these aren't perfect. And if you wanted perfect pretzels, you wouldn't be watching this video. You would be going to the mall, buying pretzels. You wouldn't be, while you doing all this. But if you want some homemade, you trying to have fun with the grandkids, this is perfect. Now, they should all be done, crisscrossed over. They should have this special Auntie Annie's baking soda water sauce that was soaked in it. You know, a little dipping sauce. Now, your oven should be preheated to 450 degrees. You gotta leave it in there for 9 to 10 minutes. It's not done. It's not quite done yet. But by the time, it's ready, you can decorate it with salt or if you're gonna put whatever on it. This recipe, I'm going to make it the brown sugar and some cinnamon and stuff. So I don't know what this is. It smells like cinnamon, I hope. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of this on because why not? It's not salt, so let's try what this looks like. Just decorate a little bit. Just give a little bit of love sauce. Can't hurt to put a little bit too much. Just sprinkle whatever. Alrighty, now we're gonna try to find some sugar. Oh, you know what? I got a big thing of sugar right here. Now we'll have this thing of sugar. Just take a little bit. We'll probably put some more on it, but this is for it to bake in because you know what? Fatties put 2 layers of sauce on their meat, so we're gonna go all the way. Just put a little bit of sugar on, a little bit after. It's all right. We ain't eating salads today. We eating homemade pretzels. So once this is all should be decorated, some good, cinnamon, some sugar. Get the grandkids clean them dishes, whatever it be. And then by the time it's all ready and done, they stay in there 9-10 minutes if I didn't say that. So when they're all done and everything, I'll show you. I'll give you a little test review. It's going to be good. I can't wait. Little quick update. I had to switch it up. I was like, looking in the kitchen pantry, I was like, hold up, that's a lot of sauce right there. I was like, you know what? I can't just do the regular whatever. So instead, I'm going to switch it up. And what I did was I took some sweetened cocoa powder. Don't mind my fingers. And everything. And then, I took some brown sugar, some salt. Whenever you add cooking and you're baking with a lot of sweet stuff, you had to balance it with salt. So it'll taste good because salt helps activate stuff when it's baking. So sprinkle it with some whatever salt, doesn't matter. So brown sugar, cinnamon, cocoa powder. We're going to see how it turns out. Probably want to baste it all with some butter because, fat people love butter. So now your pretzels, after they've been in there for about 9 or 11 minutes, should be about done. Don't mind that piece. I had to take a little bite, test it. So they should be golden, should be done. You should know that you feel stiff on the outside, kind of stiff. You should want to butter it. I already put butter on top. You take them out 3 minutes before they're done, butter, and that's what gives them that really golden signature look. And then I'll be trying these suckers out and we'll really see how good they are. Alrighty guys, now we're about to try these pretzels out. Now this just turned into a taste test review. Now, get you some liquid in case it's terrible. You gotta chug it down. Okay. They're soft inside. If you did it right, your inside should be almost doughy with this hard outside. I think that secret Auntie Annie water did the trick. You can taste the cinnamon. You can taste the butter. It's a good hint of butter. Is it good? Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, if you have all the time to, mess around with all that instead of go buying it because you got to sit at home make it, it's pretty good. That might be the best pretzels I've had, dude. They're pretty better than Auntie Annie's, not gonna lie. And all you need is this flour and some basic stuff. And if you don't got that, then you got neighbors that got that, and tell them that you'll pay them back. But you don't got to pay them back. Just don't worry about it. I'm pretty good, though. Other than that, I give myself 10 out of 10. I think I should get an A on this project. This is... Yep. All right. Go make them right now.